G'day guys, welcome. It's Tuesday and I thought I'd put together a really quick video for tomorrow night's mid-season draft. I think it's the fourth or fifth mid-season draft. It's been back 2019, I think, was when it was reintroduced, and we took Josh DeLuca, who's no longer at our footy club, but the other boys we picked up in that time, Jordan Boyd, Alex Murkoff and Sam Durden are still around, and Boyd's been a really, really good pickup for us. So fingers crossed tomorrow night that that Nick Austin pulls a beauty out of the hat, who's going to be a decent footballer for us, whether that's this year or moving forward. We're just going to have to wait and see. It's pretty exciting. Originally, we thought we might have two picks, given the season-ending injuries to both Jack Silvani and Sam Doherty. So there's two spots available, but according to our national recruiting manager, Mick Agresta, yesterday in an interview, he said that these spots are going to be pretty tight come the end of the year. Don't want to speak a lot about that at the moment, but we were only going to pick one player tomorrow night. And he did say the player that they will pick, I think he said along the lines of longevity. So they're seeing this player as a long-term prospect at the football club, not just a player that's going to come in as a quick fix. I think similar to maybe what we did with a Sam Durden, because we did have some injuries down back. This player, whether they're a 19, 20-year-old or a 22, 23-year-old, 24-year-old, I think the train of thought is they're going to bring them in and develop them, and hopefully they'll be good players for us over the course of the next, 5 or 6 seasons, similar to, say, a Jordan Boyd. Who that is, I'm not quite sure. I think all the talk at the moment is around Liam McMahon, who is under our nose. He's been under our nose for 2 seasons now in the VFL. Came from Collingwood, where he was drafted, didn't play a senior game at Collingwood. He's a key position player, around about 194, 195 centimetres. Quite nice hands. He's had a reasonable year in regards to hitting the scoreboard. It's not a really great VFL team to be a part of this season. He's probably been our only real avenue to attack. And there's no doubt when he came to the club, they would have spoke to him about potentially a spot opening up in the future. And he's performed quite strongly in that time. Will it be him? Not quite sure. Will he be available at pick 11? Not quite sure. But yeah, I think there's a fair chance that if he's around at that time, we may pick him. And the other one that's been spoken about is Riley Collier-Dawkins, the former Tiger, who is now at Williamstown, 24 years of age, played the 11 games at Richmond. Was highly rated when he first went to the Tigers. Never really got going there and was delisted, and finds himself now in the state leagues at Williamstown and performed quite strongly, particularly this season. He's a really quite a stoppage sort of clearance type player with a bit of burst and a bit of power. He's a smart user by foot. He's nothing exceptional. And I think those two players are the ones that have been spoken about. But I think they're the obvious choices. Yeah, and it won't surprise any of us if Nick Austin calls the name of Liam McMahon out or Ryan Collier-Dawkins. It just won't surprise at all. However, I'm here to just quickly talk about two players, two smokies, I reckon, which I've kept a close eye on over the last couple of years, really, but one in particular this year and one that's been around for a little bit of time now. I'm just going to quickly start with Jack Riding. Jack Riding is a 22-year-old. Not quite sure if he even played in the Coates Talent League, to be perfectly honest. He played for North Ballarat last year in the Ballarat Football League, where I think he kicked something like 40 goals and was named in their Team of the Year, and was really a standout in that competition last year, and got invited to try out with Werribee VFL over the pre-season, and really impressed. And he's had a fantastic start to the season as a high half forward, really explosive player, left footer, really strong, aggressive, that type of impact player, I think 22-year-old. And the thing that excites me about Jack Riding is he's a goal kicker as well. and he's playing really good, consistent football and making an impact in a really strong Werribee VFL team. They're one of the best teams in the VFL at the moment. So he's one to look out for, whether it's with us or with another club. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think what would have impressed Nick Austin was Jack Riding when our VFL team played Werribee at Chirnside Park in Werribee around about 3 or 4 weeks back. I thought Jack Riding was clearly best on the ground. He was outstanding in that game. He had something like 33 disposals and a couple of goals, and he really caught the eye that game, and Nick Austin just happened to be there. So I really like him in regards to that player that can make an impact. He's a really good user by foot, so one to keep an eye out for. But the boy I really want to talk about, and I hope, because we know Nick Austin can go for a smokey. We saw that with Jordan Boyd back in, 2021. I think we were all shocked, or a lot of people were shocked when Jordan Boyd's name was read out. He came through, wasn't even in the talent pathway, played reserve football, then senior football at Spotswood in the WRFL, and then went to the Footscray VFL, and he was just such an unknown, and he's become such a really good player for us. And so the boy I want to talk about out of the Northern Bull Ants is Saad El-Hawli. Now, I've been following this lad for about 2 or 3 seasons now, and he caught my eye when he was playing for Altona in the WRFL. He is out of the Western Jets. I've got a real soft spot, obviously, for players out of the West of Melbourne. So he did play for the Western Jets. He's from Altona. He's a real excitement machine, or he was at that level, a little bit inconsistent, at 185 centimetres. He was more of a small forward at the under-18 level. Wasn't drafted, and then went to Division 1 of the WRFL and played in a premiership with Altona when he was 18, 19 years of age, and was an outstanding player in that year. Just with his goal-kicking ability, quick, powerful, really good skills. And then went to Werribee VFL, was invited down there, and was put onto their list in 2022. Played 5 games in his first season. Fast, hard running, great foot skills, big impact player. But I think he's really impressed over the last couple of years, and in particular this year at the Northern Bull Ants. Left Werribee, sought more opportunities at the Northern Bull Ants, and has gone from being somewhat of a inconsistent small forward at the level to being one of the better on-ballers in the competition in the VFL this season. He's been outstanding, and on the weekend he had 33 disposals and 2 goals against the Sydney Swans. I think he's a type of player that could really complement us. And not only, 23 years of age, he's obviously taken some time to mature, and has really found his spot. I really like the look of him. So one to look out for. If it's not for us, I've got no doubt that this kid will get picked up, whether it's this year or at the end of the year. And there's something about these Muslim boys. They're excitement machines. They really are. They love their footy. They love their football. And this kid from the western suburbs is a really good player. And it's one from left field. So let's see how it all works out tomorrow night for us, when Nick Austin will call out another player who will come to the Carlton Football Club with pick number 11. Speak soon.